In the headlines to the CBC NewsNight, Archers Bay is ready for tomorrow's regathering celebrations. The Barbados Film Festival gets underway. The Right Excellent Earl Walton Barrow, remembered as a freedom fighter and CARICOM integrationist.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening and welcome to the CBC NewsNight. With the details, I'm Wendy Burke. All roads will lead to Archers Bay, St. Lucie tomorrow, Errol Barrow Day, for the We Gathering Family Feast and Fun Day. From all reports, all systems are a go for the day of fun and entertainment. Anesta Henry has the report.
The grass has been cut, tents erected, and all other infrastructure has been put in place at Archers Bay, St. Lucie for the We Gathering 2025 Family Food and Fun Day. The only thing not there yet is the massive crowd expected to converge at the location. Director of We Gathering 2025 Secretariat Senator John King says all systems are go for the experience that will allow Barbadians to gather as a family.
Archers Bay is ready, and we are looking forward to a massive turnout for that fun feast and family day. It's going to be fantastic. It gives us a chance to give St. Lucie that big push for regathering, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the other 10 parishes coming up there to give them the support.
He says while people are encouraged to walk with their picnic baskets, there will be lots of food and drinks on sale.
The Barbados Food and Rum Festival has a showcase there. There are vendors there, so I'm inviting everybody to come and partake of the cuisine, which is the best in the world, coming straight from Barbados.
The weather for tomorrow is forecast to be sunny with cloudy periods and scattered light showers. So Senator King is encouraging attendees to come prepared.
No rain is going to stop this train at all. So walk with your umbrellas. It's a family get together. And if the rain falls, well, as the Bob Marley song says, when the rain falls, it don't fall on one man's house. So everybody come to St. Lucie, to Archers Bay, and we're going to have some serious good old Bajan fun.
Several popular gospel artists and entertainers will be performing on the big stage at the event, which is scheduled to take place between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. The Barbados Transport Board will be providing buses to Archers Bay, departing from Oistins, Bridgetown and Spicetown from 10 a.m. at regular fares. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Barbados' longest-running film festival is back, bigger and bolder than ever. Director of the Barbados Independent Film Festival, DeCarla Applewaite, says the festival is celebrating its 9th edition with a lineup of 60 films to be shown over 5 incredible days across 8 diverse venues. Addressing a news conference, Applewaite said organizers of the festival received scores of entries this year.
This year, as we received over 350 films, 10 from Barbados, 11 from Turkey, 1 from Estonia, 10 from Canada, 4 from Trinidad and Tobago, Nigeria, Suriname, Netherlands, Norway, Spain, France. The Russian Federation slipped in, the Islamic Republic of Iran, Palestine, Hong Kong, Sierra Leone, Kenya, Egypt, Bermuda, Curacao. You tend to get the sense of the international and the global feel of the festival.
Applewaite says the festival continues to provide a platform for Barbadian and regional filmmakers to showcase their work.
We have with us some young filmmakers, some young activists that have come on board as ambassadors, not only because of their love of film and their work, but because we feel that we have lots of young filmmakers, even if they're not the student filmmakers come in. The filmmakers always tend to be young. And we think that one of our things as a platform and the advocacy of the festival is that we provide that inspiration and that mentorship. And friendships, we found that friendships have become quite long-standing at the festival.
On the eve of the bank holiday, in honor of national hero and father of independence, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow, he is being remembered as a freedom fighter and CARICOM integrationist. This is according to Barbados' ambassador to CARICOM, David Comachon. He was speaking as a guest on today's edition of Morning Barbados.
And here it is, how many years later, 30-something years later, as ambassador to CARICOM, I am now on his 105th anniversary of his birth, focusing once again on the fact that he was the champion, perhaps the champion par excellence of Caribbean integration and of the Caribbean community. You know, there are many aspects to Mr. Barrow's legacy, but surely, surely, right there at the top of the list is his achievements in the field of Caribbean integration.
Ambassador Comachon says he knew Mr. Barrow personally and had the honor of serving in his administration as the youngest senator. And he remembers Mr. Barrow as the architect of CARICOM and the Caribbean Free Trade Association, CARIFTA.
He came to office in 1961 on the verge of the total collapse of the West Indies Federation. Jamaica had just had its referendum. Jamaica had just pulled out of the Federation when Mr. Barrow, 2 months later, won the government. And to his credit, his first instinct was to try to save what was left of the Federation. He won office. He immediately traveled to Trinidad to meet with Eric Williams to say, look, let Barbados and Jamaica has pulled out, but let us come together and save the Federation.
Meanwhile, President of the Democratic Labour Party, Senator Andre Worrell, describes Mr. Barrow as the ultimate parliamentarian and a visionary. He says there are a number of things Mr. Barrow spoke of during his time as Prime Minister which are still applicable today. And Mr. Worrell says the same self-actualization Mr. Barrow championed must be done by today's youth, especially in the area of education. He also was a guest on today's Morning Barbados.
You have to see Barrow's legacy is creating the foundations and the pillars on which Barbados are built. Is education, which helped to develop a middle class within Barbados, expanding sectors, manufacturing, tourism, service sectors in Barbados, all that capable because of education. And now, in terms of the further enhancement and development, it's his ideal goal for Barbadians. You allow persons to be educated. That is a form of independence as well, in terms of career choices and not to depend on certain things.
Mr. Worrell notes the DLP will be hosting a number of events in Mr. Barrow's honor. Coming up, the Labour Minister asking people of faith to stand up and stand out. Barbados is at a point in its history where people of faith need to stand up and stand out while demonstrating the values that are dear to the family. This is according to Minister of Labour and Member of Parliament for St. Peter, Colin Jordan. He says the country is depending on people who have values, those who value life, people's dignity and other property while looking after each other. Mr. Jordan was speaking at the New Testament Church of God 2025 convention.
Values that would allow us to feel safe, because I'm sure that none of us gathered here this morning feels as though somebody is going to start pelting bottles. There's a different feeling when people of faith get together. The risk feel less. That says something. It's because people of faith, Christians in particular, serve a God that allows us to understand that we have a responsibility. And so we can't just get on any and every way. And so I encourage you to continue to let your light shine, continue to be both light and salt.
Member of Parliament for St. James North, Edmund Hinkson, and Senator Chad Blackman say there is no indication of a general election on the horizon. But the prospective candidate says both he and Mr. Hinkson collaborate daily on the way forward for the constituency. He says he intends to build on the legacy in the northern constituency. Senator Blackman was speaking at a family fun day held for those within the St. James North constituency.
Mr. Hinkson and I, we talk every morning, all right? We talk every night. And shortly there we have our, not just plans and discussions, but we do a lot of debriefing as to what are the happenings on the ground, and how can we now marshal in a singular way to roll out the plans for the constituency. So, there's a lot of talk about election. No, this is not about an election. This is really about, one, transition and legacy of continuing representation for people. Whenever an election is called, then it's called, but you have to focus and deliver for people. That's the legacy of this party.
Emeritus Harold Critchlow marked his 90th birthday at a special service held at the Cathedral Church of St. Michael and All Angels today. There were the singing of hymns, prayers, speeches, and a special performance from the mighty Gabby, who sang "Well Done." Former President of the Barbados Senate, Carrie Ann Eiffel, says she developed a closeness with Dean Critchlow from a tender age when her grandmother took her to the cathedral, and also spent 10 years sitting beside him in the Senate chamber.
And so today, as we prepare to celebrate 90 years of dedication, loving, sweet service, I thank you. I thank you, Dean Harold, for being a part of my life for so long. I thank you for the service you've given to your church, to your God, and to your country. And most of all, I thank you for being the wonderful human being that you have been. Happy birthday to you, and God bless.
Dean Emeritus Critchlow's brother, Reverend Winston Critchlow, says his siblings' life is a gift. Reverend Critchlow thanked the family and friends who joined the celebration.
So thanks again, Harold, for your excellent service to the glory of God, and we wish you the very best as you go forward. We thank God for your dear wife and daughters who have supported you and continue to take such great care of you. You look very well.
Reverend Critchlow presented a gift to the Cathedral Church of the St. Michael and All Angels on behalf of the Dean Emeritus, who also received a birthday gift from the church. Julianne Sargent and Shaquan Griffith are this year's mentor and mentee of the First Chances Mentorship Program. They were both successful out of a pool of 10 nominees who all embarked on a transformative journey last year. Ms. Sargent says she had to go on a waiting list before she could become a mentee. But she says it has been a rewarding journey as she created her pathway to purpose.
When I entered the HR field, I entered without any experience because someone took a chance on me. Someone provided that opportunity, and that's what I always want to do, just help wherever I can, and this program really gave me the opportunity to, help persons to develop in their fields.
Co-founder and head of Human Resources, Tiffany Bruns, says the program was launched in 2020 and has impacted over 81 mentees and 64 mentors, connecting people across St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados and the USA. And she challenges each person to think about taking the legacy of the program forward.
Whether you are a mentor, mentee, or a supporter, you have the power to create change, not just within your life, but the lives of those around you. Remember, the pathways to purpose are not always linear, and they often require us to step outside of our comfort zones. But as we have seen over the past 5 years, when we take those bold steps, we not only discover our purpose, but we also help others discover theirs.
And we say goodnight to Damien Bess in the Sports Center. It seems Windy's women did a little bit better today than they did yesterday.
Yeah, finally something to enjoy. Good evening to you, Wendy. Good evening to our viewers and listeners. Well, a masterful century from Captain Haley Matthews powered West Indies women to a commanding 9-wicket win over Bangladesh women in the opening match of their ODI series at Warner Park last night. Player of the match, Matthews struck 104 not out off just 79 balls, inclusive of 16 fours, as the Windies reached their target of 199 in just 31.4 overs, finishing on 202 for 1. Kiana Joseph shared in a 163-run opening stand with Matthews. Her maiden half-century of 70 included 6 fours and 4 sixes. Now, earlier sent into bat, Bangladesh posted 198 for 9. DeAndre Doughton took 3 for 40, while Matthews and Aliyah Aline had 2 wickets apiece. Well, the second ODI is set for tomorrow at 2 p.m. with live coverage on MCTV's ESPN channel. Football news now. Defending champions Weymouth Wales and Paradise both secured victories on the opening night of the 2025 Barbados Football Association Premier League season at the Wildy Turf. In the opening match of a triple header last evening, Paradise defeated newly promoted Silver Sands 2-0. Christian Gill accounted for both goals, finding the back of the net in the 23rd and 75th minutes. In the day's second game, UWI Blackbirds and Kickstart Rush played to a 1-1 draw. Tikal Aline Calendar opened the scoring for Kickstart in the 43rd, and they had several chances to take the lead after that. However, the Blackbirds would find the equalizer via Shamari Yearwood in the 56th minute as both teams shared the points. In the day's feature encounter, which was played for the most part in driving rain, defending champions Weymouth Wales edged arch rivals Ellerton 2-1. Rashad Jules put Ellerton ahead in the 18th minute, but goals from Akeem Hill in the 22nd and Rashad Smith in the 57th minute saw Wales clinch the win. The season continues on Thursday with a doubleheader at Friendship. Paradise, that's Pride of God Hill rather, will take on Deacons at 7 p.m. and Bretton Sill versus Wotton at 9 p.m. Well, a new champion will be crowned when the second edition of the Young Kings Under-15 Indoor Futsal Tournament gets going tomorrow at the BCC Gym. With 8 teams set to compete, defending champions Kickstart Rush will not be in action this time around. However, according to tournament coordinator Patrina Brathwaite, 1 female team will be vying for this year's top prize.
It is 2 zones, 4 teams in each zone, and we have a semi-finals and then the finals. There will be no third place playoff. We have Eastern United from St. George, the Phoenix FC's Commonwealth School, Pride of God Hill, and Eden Stars in Zone 1. Zone B is Port Charlotte Soccer School. Backstreet Ballers, the only female team, come on and support. We like all the females to come on and support Whitehall from St. Peter and Barbados Soccer Academy. We look forward for a very exciting day. We will also have a perform by a guest artist who will come through and sing, and also the sponsors. Can't forget the sponsors. The winning team will be getting $1,000 in sports equipment for the club.
Well, the Young Kings Futsal Tournament gets going from 9 a.m. That is the first half in sports. Wendy, when we come back, we've got some track and field news.
I'm looking forward to it. Up next on CBC's Newsnight, the Business Report. In tonight's Business Report, a one-stop shop to assist local small and medium-sized enterprises has been set up in Barbados. Called The Vault Retail and Marketing, it is all-female operation located at Upper James Street, the city. The officials discuss the operation on tonight's Business Report. Trevor Thorpe tells us more.
The Vault Retail and Marketing is a small business for small businesses, and Director Mariah Greenidge says they are a hub for local entrepreneurs where the owners can bring their products and or services for them to display on their shelves and also assist with marketing brand strategy.
I realized that we did need the space for the retail. However, the marketing aspect would have been lacking a little bit with the other projects. And I think that what we would have done here with the Vault is try to put an extra focus on ensuring that people know about the small businesses, people know about their products, more so than just providing the space for them to be able to sell. So I think that that is what sets us apart, and that is probably what would make persons lean towards our model a little bit more.
The skill and guile of Dane Napoleon offers planning strategies for project operations.
We've been able to take off the bucket list for over 50 small businesses thus far. where we're able to see, much like what Erica would have also said, see exactly where they want to go, what they want to attain, and create a blueprint on how exactly they can attain it.
Erica Hinkson is the director responsible for getting messages to the public and says social as well as traditional media are used in their strategy after her colleagues have set the tone.
From there, we develop as a team a content strategy, so a direction for all the content that's going to go on social media that best suits the brand that we are working with. From there, we create things like content calendars, we look at posting, captioning for clients, we do customer response management, a full service marketing agency, as you were, in terms of social media and a bit of additional marketing as well.
The Vault retail and marketing officials say it's not a one-cat-fits-all syndrome, as every entity has a target audience and market research is done to identify the market for each client. Trevor Thorpe for the Business Report.
Minister of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology, Marcia Cadell, wants the Digital Innovation and Health Tech Hub being built at Newton Christchurch to act as a model for a sustainable unit for building. She says going sustainable saves money and resources, which she notes can be allocated to other kinds of investments. The hub is located within the Newton Life Science Park.
It is not to say that we're in a position as a country to move away from a brick and mortar approach, but in places where we know that this kind of construction is important for the purpose of the building, that is important that we are able to make use of it. But it's not just for this isolated project. One of the things that was really encouraging about the project is that the teams that developed the technology, that deployed the technology, worked very closely with Barbadians.
We take a look now at how the stocks traded locally and regionally.
In Jamaica, Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited, with 1,367,300 units, was the volume leader, followed by Wigton Energy Limited and JMMB Group Limited, 7.35% cumulative redeemable preference share. In Trinidad and Tobago, Massey Holdings Limited was the volume leader, with 323,947 shares changing hands for a value of Trinidad and Tobago $1,253,513.47, followed by NCB Financial Group Limited. And here in Barbados, Epley Caribbean Property Fund SCC Value Fund was the sole security, trading 31,835 shares at Barbados 51 cents each.
That's it for business. We'll take a break and be back with the weather. Carrie-Ann O'Neill joins us now to give us a look at the weather picture. No more rain, Carrie-Ann.
Good evening to you, Wendy, and good evening, everyone. Well, Wendy, I can tell you tomorrow we are expecting a mix of sunshine and a few showers. But today in Barbados, the high-pressure system was the dominant feature. We had mainly dry conditions with a few light showers. Those winds, though, they are quite gusty, up to 41 knots. And the seas, they are choppy at this time. We do have that small craft warning and high surf advisory in effect. The maximum temperature today was 29 degrees Celsius, the minimum 24 degrees. At present, the temperature stands at 25 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity shows that we do have very limited moisture in the atmosphere at 77%. Those winds, they are coming in from the east. We take a look now at some atmospheric conditions across the region, where the temperatures are ranging from 25 to 27 degrees Celsius. The humidity shows moisture is building over in Antigua as well as Trinidad, and the winds are generally moderate across most of the islands. We take a look now at our satellite feed, where the high-pressure system was our dominant feature. We had mainly dry conditions, just a few light showers, and we had up to 2 millimeters of rainfall. Meanwhile, the winds, they were quite gusty, up to 41 knots here in Barbados. The seas very choppy. We do have that small craft warning and high surf advisory in effect. At this time, they are moderate to rough in open water, with swells peaking at 3.5 meters. Now later on tonight, we can expect a mix of clear and cloudy skies along with a few scattered showers. Further south, afternoon showers prevailed across the Guianas, and over in the Western Caribbean there is a cold front maintaining wet conditions across the Bahamas as well as Cuba. Elsewhere enjoyed partly cloudy skies. That's our first look at the weather. After the break, we'll have the forecast. Welcome back. In the forecast for tomorrow, the sun is expected to rise at 6:25 and will set at 5:54. Now the first high tide is expected at 8:48 a.m. and the first low at 13 minutes after 2 in the early morning. Now those seas, moderate to rough in open water with swells peaking at 3.5 meters. We do have that small craft warning as well as high surf advisory in effect. The winds are coming in from the east and they're peaking at 55 kilometers per hour with higher gusts. Tonight in Barbados, we are expecting a mix of clear and cloudy skies along with a few scattered light showers. And over the next 3 days, a mix of sunshine as well as showers can be expected. Thereafter, we are expecting that a shear line will maintain cloudy skies along with scattered showers.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
And we say welcome back to Damien Bess, who will take us now to some sports.
Yeah, thanks so much, Wendy. Continue on with this one. Gold House defended their title as Inter-House champions at the St. Lawrence Primary School. Held at the Dylan Griffith Secondary School, Gold secured 854 points, while Purple were second, totaling 608. Orange third with 497 points. CBC's Ann Margaret Boyce reports.
The sprint events took center stage at St. Lawrence Primary as we begin with the under-7 girls 80-meter event. And heading to the line in the lead was Isabella Seeley of Purple, clocking 18 seconds. Aria Watts-Matthew of Orange was second, 20.01, and Kimoyo Hussein of Gold third, 20.06. The boys were up next, same division, and the action was in the center of the track, where Rashawn Jack pulled away from the field to win for Gold House in 14.01. Naeem Prescott Williams of Orange was second in 16.03, and Killian Toby of Gold third, 16.11. Under 9 girls now going 100 meters. We picked them up after 60 meters. This is Kamaya Atkins of Gold pouring home in style. 16.75 was her time. Zakia Smith of Purple was the runner-up in 17.59, while Aria Bella Holder came third in 17.62. The boys' equivalent was hot like a boiling pot. No clear winner at 50 meters, but eventually a Jaden Goodrich Brown found an extra gear and took the victory, winning in 17.63. Rashawn Jack of Gold was second, 17.71, ahead of Orange Tremani Nurse, 17.73. Moving along to the under-11 girls, still anyone's race at this stage, but Kylie Greenwich of Gold becomes the champion in 17.75. Purple's Tiana Walcott got home for second in 17.68, before Gold's Amaya Ward, 17.80. Under-11 boys followed after. Speed to burn here, folks. Carleon Prescott Broom sweeping away his opponents to win for Orange in 16.44. Caden Allen was second in 16.49, and Zarin Singh was third, 16.54. To the big girls under 13 division, who will be crowned fastest female at St. Lawrence. The competitors were finding their rhythm and groove before Rajesh Braffit answered the question, taking this one in 16.19. Stacia Irvin was second in 16.28 for Purple, and Tavia Bacchus third for Gold in 16.32. to the big boys now. Time to see who will grab the bragging rights of fastest meal. Pay close attention to the left of your picture. Arms and legs pumping. This is a demolition job by Tyrone Hampton of purple in 14.97. Malachi Holder of orange was second, 15.01. And Kimani Backles third of purple, 15.05. St. Lawrence Sports Day done and dusted. Anmar Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
Yeah, thanks, Anmar. Well, the matchups for the finals of the Harris Paints Electing a Champion Junior Road Tennis Tournament are almost complete after rain interrupted the semi-finals last evening at the Belfield Hard Courts in Blackrock, St. Michael. 5 players advanced to the final before that weather interruption. Here's a look at some of the action. Loyal followers of road tennis for semi-final day at Belfield. Let's get into it. Ranisha Stewart closest to the screen, battling Shani Seal in the secondary school girls 14 to 17 age category. Stewart was already up a game at 21-14, and she definitely looked poised to take the entire matchup in 2 straight as Seal found the advertising on a couple occasions. The rallies were eye-catching. Seal with the forearm drives, Stewart cool with the backarm. Who's going to blink first? Seal guilty of hanging back, and it's too long. From there, Stewart would put the finishing touches on a splendid performance that will see her advance to the semi-finals 21-14, 21-16 over Seal. Stewart set to meet Kezia Blunt in the final. A little slice of the 16 to 17 boys now featuring Raheem Nurse playing JL Graves closest to the screen. It was a mouth-watering contest to say the least. The shots brought the spectators to the edge of their seats. Nurse getting a freebie, and then Graves showing outstanding reflexes, even if in a difficult situation. And Graves would be richly rewarded for his efforts as he took the first game at 21-16. Switch of ends for the second, and Nurse was never going to play dead. Came back with a vengeance. His body language said it all. Eventually leveling the matchup at 1 apiece. A wicked backarm drag. 26-24 the scoreline. On a knife's edge for the third. Nurse up 6-3. Titanic rally in progress until Graves picks out the advertising. Fast forward on the turn. Nurse at game and set point gives Graves a slender piece of hope with an unforced error. Then the crowning moment. Nurse celebrates the error, giving him the victory at 21-15 in the third. Well, rain interrupted proceedings after that, with the remainder of the matchups to be completed before the finals on Tuesday at the Harris Paints headquarters in Wildy. And that's it for sports for tonight. Wendy, it's back over to you.
Thank you so much, Damien. We'll take a break and be back.
This edition of Minding Your Business. Would you believe it is just over 4 years since we first met Wayne Eiffel and his iconic Auntie Phyllis barbecue sauce brand? Well, obviously since then we've been through the height of the COVID-19 pandemic and more, but the brand continues to endure despite the challenges. In fact, Wayne recently shared some big news about the major growth of his Auntie Phyllis brand that has now opened the doors to export outside of the Caribbean region.
I used the opportunity to improve on the brand. Instead of just having one flavor, I kept adding. Where we had the original, we had the pineapple saga, we had the rum fusion, and we had the sweet heat. But then we added also the ultimate heat. We improved on the label of the ultimate heat. We changed that. This was a red label similar to the sweet heat label. We worked on the label, and then we actually improved the actual quality of the product itself. We did a lot of testing through the analytical services, and we just tried to elevate the brand.
And it is that top local quality for which they are known that has now also gotten the attention of others well beyond the shores of Barbados, officially taking the Auntie Phyllis brand international.
It is heartwarming now to realize that people not only locally have embraced the brand, but we had a distributor who came from the UK, and he actually took some of the products back to the UK, and he did a showcase around England. And many of the folks there actually liked the product, they liked how it tasted, and they embraced what we call that Bajan culture. And we also made the product at the International Food Science Center, which is a good thing because it gives us, one, quality assurance. It gives people that satisfaction of the fact that what they are putting in their stomach is something that is palatable, and it is something that is certified. That has been a God-given, that is we call something God sent. You have to save some funds and go up there because you have to be able to scale up. And to be able to scale up, you need the facility. To be able to export, you need the compliance. As a small entrepreneur, micro entrepreneur, I can't afford some of the things that in that building. At home here, making that product, it would take me 3 hours to make probably like 96 bottles. I went up to the Food Science Center, and I can now make like 384 bottles, which is like 32 cases in that same space of time.
And though he has now gone international, Wayne says Auntie Phyllis still has some loyal local customers that range from individuals to restaurants and some select stores across the island. He says the restaurants especially love the convenience of having a sauce that is consistent for their customers, that is guaranteed to taste the same great way every time they use it. Now, going forward, he says the sky continues to be the limit and that the Caribbean region and multi-million-dollar U.S. market are his next major targets. He says the 12-ounce bottles are mainly for domestic use, while the half-gallon and gallon bottles are usually purchased by commercial customers. Now, for those of you keen to get your hands on some bottles of Auntie Phyllis barbecue sauce, here's what to do.
We are located here in Vauxhall Hope in St. George. There are also a number of outlets now that you can get them in the retail stores. But if you want to get me directly, you can contact me at 850-0180. You can email me at auntyphyllis2019@gmail.com. You can follow us on IG. You can follow us on Facebook. And we also have a website, www.auntyphyllisbajanbarbecuesauce.com. And you can also check out our YouTube channel, Auntie Phyllis Bajan Kitchen.
So be sure to get your orders in for yourself or your restaurant. And with that, that's all the time we have for this week's program. So until next time, I'm Ryan Broom, and this has been Minding Your Business.
Thanks for viewing and enjoy the rest of your evening.